3, 2, and I think we are live. We are doing the pre-show right now, so now I can post all of the pre-show goodness over here and attract our various audiences with promises of candy. Because that's what I do. That's how we get people. We just promise them candy.
Do you want some candy?
Right? Come to the live stream on the internet. You'll get candy for it. Totally seems legit.
Or I could say things like, no, I won't say it. Never mind.
You can say whatever you want. No censorship here. Oh, there you go. Baby's already in here. Candy. And there's my boy, Despacito. What's up, Ismael?
Or you can say, is Daddy going to come in too?
Oh, there you go. Joining us. Everybody joining us. Okay, let's see. Where else do I need to post this? All right, I posted this on Facebook. Now I got to tweet it out. Put it on the tweeter sphere.
On the tweeter sphere.
I know. I see it. There you go.
All right, tweet it. Nice. Okay. All right. So we were just about all lined up over here. Oh, Dan made it in. Dan made it to the live stream. Good to see you, bro. Oh, speaking of which, too, Sin, you gotta drop a message in the live chat over there so I can make you a mod here in case you need to drop like links or anything.
Okay.
All right. And TVP, I think you already did yours, right?
I was about to say I think I need to do the same. I was supposed to comment last time. I don't think I ended up putting a comment.
Oh, I see you don't want to be a moderator, so I see how that is.
I'm a moderator?
Right.
A operator?
Yeah, y'all are mods now.
I feel I'm drunk with my wrench power.
There you go, right?
All right, where is the link at?
I just posted it up, but yeah, just go ahead and I think it's Ace of Vegas. It's youtube.com, see Ace of Vegas, and then /live. So
Got you. All right.
Jump in there and just drop it in the comment box over there, and then there we go. All right, guys, I think we got less than 60 seconds coming up for the podcast, so we can probably go ahead and get our intro rolling. Oh, what's up, Big G? How you doing, man? Vegas Best Ideas, also in the live chat. What's good?
Hello.
All right.
I am feeling better, baby. Don't worry. I'm okay. I only got a little bit of a fever left, and I'm drinking White Claw, so you know.
There you go. Right. That's what you drink. I'm doing the Jameson and ginger right now too. What you sipping on, TVP? What you got?
I got my Crown Apple and ginger ale.
There you go. All right. We are all ready for the show now. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and light this up. And welcome back to the hashtag Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Ace of Vegas, and I'm joined by my good friends, Cinamongirl, and also the Vegas Paradise. Guys, say what's up.
What's going on?
Hello, everyone. How are you guys?
All right, good deal. So we got a show going today. So we need to talk about two pretty major things that are going on right now. And for once, it's not going to be something that starts with a C and ends with a V over there that we can't talk about. Otherwise, we'll get demonetized. Because that's the behavior on my channel that's going to get us demonetized, not all the womanizing and the swearing and the spitting and the gambling and all that. That's what's going to get us hit. Science. So, all good stuff. That's how we do. What do we have over here? Oh, actually, you know what? That reminds me. So since we're talking about the show over here, let me go ahead and get a couple things lined up over here. We need to talk about our guest today, too. So, coming from us, straight from... Sin, where you coming from?
Los Angeles.
All right, coming to us straight from LA is the one, the only Cinamongirl. Sin, say what's up over here, and yeah, tell everybody what your channel's about. We got a link to you in the description box below, but let's go ahead and do a little intro. Tell them about your channel, what got you into Vegas, what your favorite hotel is, so on and so forth. Little things.
Okay, I went to Vegas initially for Duran Duran, and I continued to go to Vegas for Duran Duran, and then that became my love of Vegas. And I find it to be my happy place and like adult Disneyland. I think I've gone 41 times, I believe.
There you go, serious Vegas goer.
My channel is a mess, kind of. It's a lot of random weirdness from before when I wasn't vlogging. And now I'm trying to vlog mostly what's going on with the lockdown, but you know, I'm doing what I can. I'm planning on doing some story times with like my adventures in Vegas and adventures with Duran Duran and my friends, and That's about it.
Nice. Well, we're glad that you made it out over here, especially after our last hangout in Vegas and all that, with everyone's flight getting delayed and all that. Because was it your flight, or was it Kevin and Jen that got?
Kevin and Jen. We actually made it out before everything got shut down.
Right.
So
yeah. You and Anastas went home on like what, Wednesday?
Wednesday. We were supposed to go Thursday, but we were able to switch our flights easily and for free, so that was good. And we were both out about 1:00.
Nice. No worries there. I like to hear that too. All right. So in addition to our girl Sin over here, we also brought back the one, the only, the Vegas Paradise, who still hasn't made that his theme song. TVP, what's good with that? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. Doing good. Nice. I'm trying to enjoy this quarantine. I don't even know if I can say that.
I'm not sure if we can say it. Well, it's too late, I don't censor, so.
Please forgive me, YouTube.
Well, you can just say it lockdown,
Right.
And that can mean all kinds of
lockdown.
Things, right? Right?
Yeah, they can't say nothing about that. It's all good.
Yeah, trying to make the best of our lockdown situation.
Yeah. So we're doing good over here. You say you got your crown. You got the crown apple, or you just got a regular crown?
Crown apple and ginger ale.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. And I don't think we need to introduce your channel any further, because everybody that's subscribed to me definitely subscribes to you. So
That's dope.
don't gotta introduce a living legend over here. So.
I don't know about all that.
All right, so you guys ready to jump into the first topic over here? Because I don't know what I have behind these cards. Oh, that's that. That's the card about the thing that we're not talking about. Let's go ahead and see what the next one is over here before I get myself demonetized again. Here we go. Oh, safety in Vegas. That's an important thing. So I got to go ahead and shout out my girl Delta on Instagram over here. We were chatting a little bit. She was talking about some questions. We were kind of shooting the breeze and all that, and started thinking. She was wondering about solo trips we were talking about solo trips or something like that. And she said that she had kind of a rough experience as a young lady going to Vegas by herself. It was a one-time kind of bad thing. I won't get into too many details. She went out, got out of the whole thing okay. All's well, but she said she had kind of a rough experience, so I wanted to go ahead and shout her out for giving me the idea on this, and we wanted to put together some safety tips for solo travelers, especially for the ladies that are going to Vegas, because Vegas is a fun place, but you got to think ahead. So that said, starting off, I got 2 questions, and I want to see what you guys think. So first things first, is Vegas safe? Aside from, right now, obviously.
I'll
let the lady answer first.
All right, Sam, what do you think?
I believe it can be yes or no. I would say that I'm very streetwise, and so I've had theft happen in Vegas, but part of it was my fault, because I had like a little purse and I put it on a hook in the restroom, and I was on the phone while I was going to the restroom, and somebody took my purse. But I ended up getting it back by some weird fluke, that the person that took it only took $5 out of my purse, and there were $600 and all my credit cards and show tickets in there.
So not only were they a pickpocket, they were an incompetent pickpocket.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
But that was my fault, and I learned from that and I wasn't alone on that trip either. Like, I was with somebody there, but I learned from that I would never do that again. Like, I always now have like a crossbody bag that's on me, and I keep my hand on it, and I'm very aware of it, because I've seen other friends lose stuff or think they lost stuff, or just not, and overdrink and just become very, very sloppy when they're by themselves. And that isn't something you should do.
No, agreed, definitely.
So I think everything that's ever really happened to me has happened more in LA than ever in Vegas. Like, I feel safe, in quotes, but I'm also very like aware and looking around and, keeping my mind about me, especially if I'm alone.
Yeah, no, definitely. TVP, what do you think, man? Do you think Vegas is, quote, safe?
I would say the Vegas Strip is safe.
All right.
Once you get off the Vegas Strip, it depends on where you're going. Like, if you're on the Vegas Strip and Fremont Street, you'll be all right, with all the police and security that's on the Strip, and they hang around like the Fremont Strip and all of that, you'll be fine. But once you start exploring past the tourist areas, you probably should know somebody, or hopefully,
know where you're
you'll
supposed
be
to be,
around
right?
someone who got you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Oh, Anthony in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, man. I'd say for the first answer, or for the first question, my answer is definitely a no, and I'm going to tell you why. There's something that my teacher told me when I was learning how to ride a motorcycle, and he asked basically the same question of motorcycles. Can you ride a motorcycle? Is it safe to ride a motorcycle? And the answer to that is no. It is absolutely not safe to ride a motorcycle. You can't ride a motorcycle safely, so to speak. And then that leads us to the follow-up question. Can you go to Vegas? Can you make going to Vegas? Let me try this one more time. Can you make going to Vegas safer? It really helps if I read the entire cue card over here. But can you make going to Vegas safer? I'll pose that to you guys. What do you guys think?
Yes, and I do agree about not going off the strip. Like I would never ever, if I'm by myself, I don't even think I would maybe go to Fremont by myself. I have gone like just to Donut Bar and then came right back. But I didn't go to Fremont by myself because I just felt like maybe I would be too much of a target by myself. And I've stayed on the strip, and I usually stay at the same hotels that I'm very familiar with also.
All right, good deal. So sticking in familiar places.
Yeah.
TVP, what do you think, man? Would you agree, disagree? You think you can make it safer?
I mean, you can always make things safer, with more security. Like, I mean, I guess we'll have different perspectives because you don't think Vegas. Well, you said you didn't think Vegas was safe, but I think you can always make things safer. I always say stay with crowds, but I guess if they enhance the security that they have, or put more restrictions in certain things, it could be safer. But like I personally, man, just feel like Vegas is cool, but yeah, I would say get more security, especially after what's going on right now. People might be a little more crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It's been interesting. All right, good deal. Well, that said, I think the biggest thing that we wanted to focus on right now, again, like I said, we had a friend that was talking about this and brought this up, so we wanted to go ahead and give you about, what are we shooting for, about 10 safety tips to kind of make Vegas a little bit safer, and we started talking about the first one. So first one that we got right down here is stick to the Strip or Fremont Street. So why do you guys think that's important there? I think I know. I got a couple thoughts on it too, but I want to hear about you guys first.
Well, I think that I know a lot of people think, oh, I can just walk to Ellis Island, or, oh, I can just walk to, say, Hard Rock, or, it's only 15 minutes. Yeah, but you're going through a bad neighborhood, and people don't understand that. They think that all of Vegas is the Strip, and it's not. You have to, there's places on the Strip I find a little bit, shady, and I wouldn't exactly want to walk even with someone. But
North of Wincoff.
yes, right. um, but like, I think it's just common sense too. Like people sometimes don't have common sense. They're over drinking and they're walking, and say you have $1,000 on you, or say somebody sees you win like a hand pay. Are you gonna want to walk back, or should you maybe get in that Uber and drive back?
Yeah, that's another good thought right there too.
Yeah.
I think TVP, you're kind of in the same boat over there, thinking you just gotta, you got to know somebody if you're gonna be away, right?
Indeed. To our point about being smart. I mean, the thing with Vegas, everybody love to party, so that's why I would always never encourage people to go by themselves. Like, I mean, obviously, you have people who have that confidence to do that, but be smart.
You flew out yourself to come hang with me. What are you talking about?
Hey, see, there you go. I had to come and hang with you.
Oh, this is true.
By myself, man.
Oh, you got me. You got me beat on that. Yes, sir. All right, I'll drink to that.
No, but to her point, yeah, like I say, really, like be smart. Like you're gonna drink, so your mind's gonna be a little more loose than normal. But like if you hit big, definitely like try not to be flashy. Just try to be low key with it. But stay in public places. Don't go anywhere solo, like off the Strip or off of Fremont. That's kind of like residential, like it's dark with no light. Like definitely don't do anything like that. But be smart.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I would say as well.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, I think a lot of the big things with Fremont and the Strip too is in addition to just the security there too. There's just a lot of surveillance, and not just the surveillance cameras, but there are a lot of people out there that are watching. They're people watching, and for the most part, most people aren't looking to get caught doing something. If there are witnesses, people looking to get, that definitely really discourages a lot of dangerous things that can happen. Another thing is well lit too. That actually goes back to Sin's point about things being like well lit and public and all that good type of stuff too. So if you can see where you're going, I mean, even there's some shady parts of the strip. Again, we were talking what was it, north of Wynn or something like that, where the street lights get a little spotty during the nighttime. And then if you're going between Circus to Stratosphere, for example, which I still consider Strat part of the strip. Some people will say nah. Yeah. Some people say yeah. Doesn't matter. The point is, if you're walking from Circus to Stratosphere, a lot of those lights don't work, and it gets kind of rough in some spots. I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm always kind of looking over my shoulder anyway. Just kind of how it's kind of how you're raised, kind of how you are. But yeah, those are some big things like well lit, more surveillance, that sort of thing. Just keep them honest. That's what I say too. So absolutely, sticking to the Strip or Fremont, just knowing where you're supposed to be, especially as a tourist, because there's not much for you anywhere else aside from Fremont and the Strip, really, all things considered.
Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. What else do we have on the list over here? Well, you guys were talking about this one over here. This was number 4 on the list, but we can just move it up to 2 over here. Let me do a little copy pasta over here. Low roll a little bit. We were talking in the live chat, too, about carrying a lot of cash or only using the credit card or so on and so forth. So let's talk about low roll in here. Being less flashy with the wealth and makes you less of a target. What do you guys think on that? Can we expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I will. The first time I went by myself, I went to go see Britney Spears because I got an offer for free flight, free room, and pit tickets see Britney. So, and no one could go. So I was like, I'm going, I don't care, I'm going. And I kept myself, I had plans, I kept everything, planned out. And afterwards, I was staying at Planet Hollywood. I went over to Cosmo, which is fine for me, like to walk. But I had probably maybe 200 with me, but I ended up winning 600. And I was sitting on a Britney Spears machine winning, and these guys approached me. And they're like, oh, we should play, craps and blah, blah, blah. And they were trying to talk me up. And they're like, oh, just give us, they were really trying to, work me,
trying to give
thinking
you that hustle, right?
Oh yeah, they were trying to get the hustle and trying to get me to finance them, and I would win the money. And I'm not that stupid. This isn't my first rodeo.
Is that true? You're not fixing to do that?
And I'm not. And they probably thought I was more drunk than I was. I was tipsy, but they thought that I was more drunk, and they thought that I was using a fake name and that kind of thing. Because I told them my name, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I did. And they were trying to go, but I told them I was staying at Cosmo. I didn't tell them that I was staying at Planet Hollywood. So they were like, oh, let's go play over here. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I went to the restroom and I went out the back door. I told the cleaning lady, is there a back door? She let me out. I went back and got out of there. So yes, I think good. Part of it is to always know, hey, can I have an escape route? Because if you have a lot of money and you're by yourself, even if you're with people, I know people have gotten robbed in the elevators and things like that, but it can happen anywhere. It's not just Vegas. But I think you have to not be, especially if you're by yourself, and you should not woohoo a lot, right? if you win or hit a hand pay.
Yeah, that's a big, oh man, I guess I broke even maybe. Oh well, next time.
Yeah, darn it.
Ignore that shit.
Yeah, or you could, as a female, you could also ask security, at there to walk you out to where Uber is, even if your hotel's right across the street. And I've done that before. I was staying at Flamingo, and I was at Planet Hollywood, and I'm I'm not walking back. Because I won money. I won $800. I had security walk me, wait with me, and I got in there. And then that way, there was no one that could follow me.
There we go. That's smart. Yeah. What about you, T? What do you think, man?
I'm gonna be honest. As I've gotten older, I've wisened up. But I used to be that wild, out of control Vegas person.
Oh man, you were
wanted
flashing
to have
the
a bunch of money on them. I wasn't flashing my money, but yeah, especially when I get intoxicated, I can get a little loud and excessive. But yeah, I always wanted cash. If I won money, I wanted the big bills, and I was always trying to be the life of the party. And now I'll still have fun, but I'll try to hide my chips, or I'll make sure if I'm cashing out, like you said, I kind of look over my shoulder at times too. I'll look around, but I try to make sure I have most of my money on like a credit card or debit card, and then I'll have like some cash, like just strictly for gambling money. Just because I've been with someone who's like lost money and it was all bad. But especially with just so many things that happen in Vegas, like she was saying, between getting pickpocketed or people following you, you're not even noticing it. It's just nowadays I just try to keep cash as minimal as possible because I mean cash really doesn't do you any more benefit than a card, except for when you're at the tables.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. All right, good deal. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to say about that too. You guys are, I think we're all pretty much on the same page on that one. You don't throw a lot of money around. Don't show everybody that you got money. What was something my uncle used to say this a lot too. He's like, thing about old school brothers, the more they deny they got something, the more they got. No, that's something we used to say in New York was, the more you say that you got something, the more you don't got it. And the more you say you don't got something, the more you got it. So,
The more you do.
exactly. So, yeah, be like an old school brother. Be like, oh, man, you know what? They cleaned me out over there at Plaza. I'm going to try and get it back at Golden Nugget, but now they cleaned me out, so I'm fixing to go home. Just, like, keep it low-key.
Yeah.
Let them know what you got. Break it up a little bit, too. And I think we were talking about that in the chat, too. Like, do separate bundles of cash. That's what I like to do. I'll do a separate bundle. Like, I'll set it all out, like, in cash for 3 days. I mean, I'll have my card with me sometimes, too. Sometimes I won't. Just depends on where I'm going. If I'm going to stay at the casino, I'll just, that I'm staying at, or their brand, I'll just go ahead and charge things to the room if I need to pay for something, whatever. I don't even trip about it. But I'll just bring a little bit of cash to gamble with. And then once I'm out. Or if I've increased my bankroll significantly enough, then I'm like, cool, going back upstairs. Let me come back down later. So just be smart about it. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
True.
I had a roommate, my current roommate, he wasn't my roommate at the time. We went for my son's 21st birthday and we were staying at Hooters and he went downstairs and played, I think, blackjack or maybe roulette. I don't know, one of the two. And he was so distracted by the Hooters girls that he lost all his money in 1 hour and had no money left.
Got him.
And we were supposed to go to rehab and all this stuff.
Boys will be boys.
Oh yeah, and
Good
he was
lesson.
eating our leftover food because I'm like, I'm not financing you. But yeah, it was a mess. So that's also another thing. Don't take all your money with you at one time.
Never.
Yeah.
So there you go. Always budget. Nice. All right. Cool. Let's see. Well, I don't want to monopolize the whole conversation over here. I think I've done like 2 or 3 of these already. Do y'all have any personal tips you wanted to go ahead and jump in there before I keep going down the list?
Nah.
Putting you on the spot because I'm the worst.
So far, so good.
All right. So you got anything that really kind of stands out in your mind?
I have sort of from a female perspective, but I guess it could also be guys also same things could happen to them. But yeah. I mean, just thinking as a woman, I think that you should always not overdrink if you're by yourself or even if you're only with 2 girls. Because, you both might think, oh,
True.
yay, we're having the best time. But if your friend becomes the hot mess express and you're kind of a hot mess, who's going to help, each other?
Yep, definitely.
And you guys can both end up a target. So I think, I mean, I'm all for partying. I like to drink. I'm very loud also. So I understand that. But I think, try not to be too excess or like when you feel yourself getting there, take a step back, have water, get your head together so you know what you're doing. Also watch your drink because people don't. They like set it down and like go off to the bathroom or they let somebody buy you a drink. If you don't see the bartender make that drink, don't accept it because people will roofie you or do all kinds of things to you, and you don't want to end up being that person.
I completely agree. I mean, even as a 30-year-old man, I remember last time I was out hanging out, one of the last times, because we were out with TVP. Who were we with? We were with Sin City Nerds. We were with Nick and Kay. And anytime I got up, I'd be like, "Hey, can you guys watch my beer for me?" And we were off in the corner. It was just us at the bar, pretty much. And most of the people were kind of around the piano, but it was just like, no, I'd rather have you guys have my drink over here. It's got to be between you guys and the bartender at all times.
Yeah, same thing. When I was there, I asked this, can you just hold my beer? Because I and back in the late 90s, I got roofied once, but nothing bad happened to me. I got home before it actually really took effect.
Hmm.
But, after that, I was way more aware of everything because it was a friend of my ex-husband's that did it. So, I don't trust anybody unless I really know you personally, with my drink.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important. And people don't, and to go along with watching your drink is watch your purse, or like have eyes on it at all time, like either in your hand, around you, not just hanging. Like, I see girls wearing backpacks. That's the worst thing. They could like go in there, you wouldn't even know that anything was gone. Or having your phone in your back pocket.
Oh, that's a bad one. That's pickpocket 101. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yep.
slight bump. There's a phone. Thank you.
Yeah, everything. I always have like a crossbody purse right in the front of me, not on the side, not in the back, and I'm always got my hand on it to make sure I know where everything is at all time. Because I had my son steal my phone because he got blacked out drunk and didn't know he stole my phone. And that's because I trusted him.
Right? He just wandered off with it. He didn't even do it on purpose either, and
No,
that's the
he was
worst thing.
standing there and I'm panicking, going, "Where's my phone? Where's my phone?" He's like, "I don't know. I don't know." Next morning, he pulls it out of his pocket and goes, "You looking for this?" So don't trust anyone.
Which, thank God, it was at least him.
Yeah, right?
So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, kind of jumping off that, yeah, because that was plan your party, and I think we covered drink water, not beer, because that was on the list too. So not only does that keep your wits about you, but also it gets deathly hot in Vegas too, and that dehydration hits you fast, especially some of those drinks. Because I'll tell you this, they have some of the best bartenders in the world, man. Like last time I was out there with the boss lady, and she had a drink. She didn't even taste the alcohol. She was like, "Oh, I can finish this." She's not a big, she doesn't drink a lot of alcohol. She just doesn't do that. It's not really her thing. She'll have a drink on occasion, but she doesn't like the taste of alcohol. It's just fact of the matter. So she doesn't drink a lot, but, she had a sip of my drink. She's like, "Yo, you might lose this." So just keep that in mind. It hits you later, but, you won't taste it on the way down. So it's really easy to get carried away.
Yeah, I totally
Indeed.
agree. I agree. And the thing is that some of the bartenders will not give you water, even if you're like almost blacked out drunk. They'll make you buy it, and so always like have a little bit of money, like some cash that you can buy a water if you have to.
Oh, I've never had that happen. I've always been, I usually just tip them after the water anyway and be like, "All right, cool, I'm out of here." But yeah, I don't think I've ever had that happen before, so that's good to know.
Yeah, I had that happen at, where was it? Omni. We
Oh, in
went
a
on my
nightclub. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
we went on my birthday and we were drinking Red Bulls and vodkas, and then I did a 5-hour energy drink and it hit me and I was shaking and jittery.
Yeah.
And my son was like, I told my son, "Can you please go get me a water?" I gave him money for it. And he went and he comes back with a beer. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "The beer was $3. I'm not going to pay $8. I'm not paying $8 for rain that comes out the sky." And I was shaking and like going, "Oh my God, I'm going to like I felt like I was going to pass out because I was like so jittery." And so then he was like yelling at the bartender to give me water, and he wouldn't give me water. And he's like, "She's gonna die. Do you see? She's gonna die." And he was like, "Can I order a glass of ice?" And then you put the liquid, wash it out, and then give it to us. And they end up giving it to us. But yeah, it was a big hassle. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That is it. The beer was cheaper. Put that on
Yeah.
a t-shirt right there. The beer
Yeah.
was cheaper.
the beer was cheaper.
Not
Yeah.
gonna pay for rain.
I'm not paying for rain. Yeah.
Seriously, put that on a t-shirt. Sell that. Or I will.
Okay, I will.
All right. While we're talking bars, though, so here's an interesting one. And Sin, I think you probably know about this, but TVP, I'm going to ask you about this. Do you know what an angel shot is?
An angel shot.
An angel shot. You know
Nah,
what's in an angel shot?
I don't.
You don't know?
Like,
Okay. It's not a drink. It's not a drink. Sin, you know what an angel shot is, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how about you go ahead and tell the audience about it? I mean, I could do that, but I don't want to mansplain it and sound stupid or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let the lady that knows
I'm
what she's talking
curious.
about explain it a little better, because I guarantee you can probably explain it better than I can.
Okay, so if you go up to a bartender and you say, I'd like an angel shot, you're telling the bartender that either one, you're having a really bad date and you need to get out of there and you need someone to escort you out, or that you are in danger, basically. So it can be any kind of danger. It could be
Ooh.
like you've been followed, bad date, abusiveness, like say, like somebody hit you, anything like that.
Mm,
Anything, it just indicates that you need help to get you out, and they will.
good.
And they'll give you like
Good
a
to
fake
know.
drink so that it looks like whoever you're with is like they'll just give you cranberry juice, but they'll make it look like they're mixing you a drink, and so that you have it. But then they're notified that you can get out.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's really good to know too. And obviously, I mean, I think that's definitely young ladies have always been kind of the target audience there too. But I do wonder if it'll work for gentlemen too. Say you're on
I'm gonna try it.
I think I might try it
I'm gonna
too.
try
Honestly,
it
I
on
mean, I
my
don't need to
next
worry
trip.
about it because I live with my date, so I'm cool on that. But to get out of an uncomfortable situation, I've been in some kind of uncomfortable situations. Like I think I've told the story before, and this kind of rolls into my next one. But I told the story of where I accidentally picked up a lady of the night because she wanted to go play craps, and I didn't. Have you guys heard that story? Have I told the story?
No.
I've heard about it. Nah.
Neither of you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool.
No.
All right, let me give you the abridged version. I think it was like my first trip to Vegas. My friends had already gone to bed. I was at Luxor, and young and single, pretty girl, easy stuff, right? So, chat her up. We go, and then she teaches me how to play craps, right? Having a good time, and I'm like, oh wow, we made some money on this. That was super cool. I take care of her bar tab because I'm like, hey, you know what? You totally made me some money. Let me go ahead and take care of your bar tab. And then we kept talking. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and go get a bottle to go celebrate. You can come back to my room because, I was definitely in the mood to watch some TV, if you know what I mean. Because I was young and single. And that's what, because that's what you do when you're young and single in Vegas. And I think that's okay as long as you're safe, of course, right? So you're definitely going to make that clear. And that was the plan. You're going to do things very safely. And on the way up, once we got out of the taxi, because this I think was slightly before Uber. We got out of the taxi and got up to the Luxor because again I was like 22 and didn't have any money, so got back to the Luxor, and then she was like, "Oh, by the way, I work for a living," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're a nurse. You told me about that. Let's go upstairs and drink this alcohol." And she's like, "Oh, no, no. I work for a living." And she's like, I'm an escort. And I'm like, oh, you were a nurse about
Oh.
10 minutes ago. What happened to that? And I guess it was the thing she did on weekends too. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm not about that life. So I'm out. And she's like, oh, you need to pay me
Wow.
for my time. I'm like, no, I don't. I bought you drinks. I'm out. And
Wow.
sometimes those so I got out pretty easy because I was already basically in the hotel. So I just kind of closed the door and booked it because I had already paid the cabbie, and I'm like, nope, I'm not getting into this over here. I'm not playing that. Because I like the ladies, not ladies in the night, not so much my style. I'm not judging, just not my style. It wasn't about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes they get some people can get a little violent, and that goes for people on.
Or if her pimp was there, you
Yeah,
would
Oh
have been in
yeah,
that
I
could
trouble.
was
have been
about to say
a
the same
troublesome thing
thing if she
too.
had somebody watching her from a distance.
Yeah, definitely. So that could have been a big deal too, or honestly, on a just on a regular date, it could be a big thing too if they're getting verbally abusive or violent or anything like that. So that's a good thing to know for I think
Yeah, you
everybody
can use
listening to the
yeah, you
stream.
can use that. Yeah, because they are in bars a lot of times, and guys don't really realize that they're saying things like, "Oh, oh, where are you going? Can I go too?" That's kind of like, the thing they might say. Um, I had to tell my son when he was 21 because he had this attractive girl talking to him,
Yeah,
and I heard what she was saying, and I started yelling mango at him, and he's like, mango. I'm like, mango.
yeah,
And
that's the
because that's
safe
the
word.
key, that's a safe word. It means hooker.
Oh,
No, because he didn't go, because he was so drunk, and she was really pretty, and
and 21
so
year old boy. So
yes, yes, yes. And so when we took my son this year, on when I turned 50 for my 50th, we told him if we yell mango at you.
Which bollocks, by the way, if you guys actually believe that Cin's 50, because I didn't believe that.
I am 50.
I still don't believe that. I met you in
Okay.
person, and
Yes, my son is really not 33. I found him on the side of the street and just brought him home as like a kitten.
perfect. There you go.
Yeah, so if you ever hear me yelling mango in Vegas, it's because there's a hooker around. But I will say there are some very nice ladies of the night. I once paid one $10 to walk me across the street from MGM to Hooters because I was so drunk and seeing triple that I thought I was going to die before I got there because I didn't want to ruin my son's 21st birthday
Right.
when Studio 54 was there. So I told my brother that the guy that I used to date back then lived in Vegas, and I was saying, oh, he's gonna pick me up. He wasn't. I stumbled through MGM. So I saw her. She looked like she was bored. I was like, hey, can I give you $10 to walk me across the street? And she did, and she was very nice and got me to the elevator. And so there's some really nice ones. I feel bad for them. They're probably not getting much work right now. So
yeah, I can imagine. So yeah, I think a lot of entertainers in that industry are definitely hurting, and a lot of bartenders right now too. So another reason to say, hey, Godspeed on this vaccine for this whole thing. Keep social distancing, guys. Yeah, let's do all of our Vegas right here for now.
Yes.
Yes. So, because I'm ready to go back to Vegas.
Real
so
talk, bro.
Me too.
Yeah. Actually, T, you did a PSA on that on your channel pretty recently.
No, I try to do some entertainment with that, with a message behind it. Yeah,
that was good.
That was a very good video. I just watched that yesterday. It was very good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we're. I don't think we got through 10 of them, but I want to get one more out of the way before we move on to the next topic over here. If you guys are down for one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now regarding escorts and ladies of the night and working girls or whatever. Escort, I think, is fine. Let's just go ahead and say escort for the rest of the whole thing. So some of them obviously are very nice. One walked Sin across the street for a nominal fee. Good stuff. Very kind young lady. Some of them aren't that into it. So in addition to escorting being largely legal in Vegas, there are some dangers behind that too for anyone that's been considering it. So who knows what trick rolling is on the podcast? Who knows what trick rolling is? This just got dark.
I don't. I think maybe I have an idea, but I don't really know.
All right. T, what about you, man? Have you ever heard of that before?
I'm in the same boat.
You're in the same boat.
I have an idea. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got an idea. Let me see how close you guys are to this over here. Yep. Sasha in the live chat stealing. Here's the abridged version of it. So there's another good reason to keep your wits about you two, because if you are excessively intoxicated, you become an excellent target for trick rollers. So what it is it's like escorting, but they roll up on you and they proposition you, especially if you're an intoxicated man that looks like he's got some money. So another reason to not flash your wealth around and keep things safe and locked up. So what they do, they proposition you, take you back to your room, and then while you're up there, after you paid or before you paid or whatever, then they just go ahead and rob you. And that's the whole thing. So they take as much cash, wallet, watch, whatever they can find. And it's actually pretty lucrative because, one, a lot of these guys are married and they don't want to admit that they propositioned an escort because that'll get them in big trouble with their wives if they report it to the police. And two, it's kind of an embarrassing thing to say, oh, yeah, I paid this girl and she took my money, because it's like oh, you didn't see that coming sort of thing there.
Yeah, I've heard a story or something like that.
Yeah, so it can be like
really
that.
Sad.
And here's the interesting thing that I've heard too. I've actually heard that it's not just the ladies of the night. Some scammers will actually just pose as regular, I say regular drunk girls, but let's say recreationally drunk girls. Let's just go ahead and say that, and that are like, oh, I'd like to meet someone special and have some fun and go about things too, which is pretty standard fare for Vegas. And then it turns out they're working a scam.
Yeah, and I had a girlfriend of mine went, and she went with a group of girls, and she met a guy that she thought was so nice, and he was being so sweet and everything like that, and they hung out like the whole night, and the next day he took her out. Like, she thought, oh, I'm going on like a date with this guy, but he waited till she was alone with him, and got her drunk, and they went back to her room, and when she fell asleep, he robbed her of everything.
Oh, I've never heard of that happening to a woman before. I thought that was pretty much exclusively something that happened
Because it
to
was
just
like, it
straight
was
guys,
kind
really.
of, no, because he was doing the whole romantic,
In Vegas,
like,
though.
yeah, yes,
Oof.
to like lower her, like she wasn't with her girlfriend. He took her on her date. I was there. We all thought it was so cool. Oh my God, this guy's taking you out, and she was like, and she lived on the other side of the country. So she was like, I'm gonna hook up, it's okay. And that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as she fell asleep, he took everything, all her jewelry, her
Wow.
money, got into the safe, everything.
Mm-mm.
And she didn't even
Mm-mm-mm.
know till she woke up in the morning, because she had her own room, and she came, to us, and was like, he took everything. Like her
Ouch.
ID, her passport, credit cards, everything.
Yeah, that makes me
Yeah.
sad. That is a sad place to leave the tips there. But yeah, wow, that is just rough. I'm so sorry about it. I'm glad she made it out of the whole thing at least intact, because I'm sure things could have gone a whole lot worse, and I've heard
Oh
of
yeah.
these
Well, I
jobs
think
go
I
worse.
think I think that's another thing is like, a lot of times people want to hook up in Vegas and stuff, and it might not be like, you don't want to take them back to your room, maybe because you don't want them maybe to know where your room is, but you don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
to their room, because what if there's not just him there?
Right.
Right.
Anything can happen to you, and especially if you're alone, you should not. I wouldn't recommend it.
Definitely. So, and again, that's why we're doing these tips over here. I think we got some. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good over here. So again, and we're doing this just because just because we love you guys so much. I think everybody here is part of our kind of mutual shared Vegas family here too, and we're all really excited to go back to Vegas, and we want to make sure that
Indeed.
everybody doesn't get too caught up in the party. You know what I mean? Like, have a good time, but definitely still stay safe so we can continue to have Vegas trips. If we can all be as lucky as Sin and get like 41 Vegas trips out of the way, I think that'd be really good. So the best way to do that, you gotta stay safe.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. I'm sad because I had to cancel mine. I was supposed to go the 29th
Yeah.
of April, and so that's off. But yeah, I think it is. I had like a whole year that I didn't go, and when I got to go back, my first time I went back, I did go alone, and it was fantastic. But every time I do have friends that live there, so even if I'm alone, I probably will see one of my friends, if not multiple friends. And then it became where I was going when I knew other YouTubers might be there,
Uh,
so I still wouldn't be completely alone. And I think that's part of the key to it too.
yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well,
True.
any other final thoughts before we go ahead and key up the next card over here?
Just be safe, everyone.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I think we've all kind of said our piece on this. Let's go ahead and brighten this up a little bit, get a little more color in here. What do you guys think?
Right.
Cirque du Soleil. No, actually, I lied. There's not going to be more color in this over here. Apparently, these might be some of the last shows that we've seen. So whatever your last Cirque show was, might be your last one, because according to Vital Vegas, these guys aren't doing so great. So, let me see if I can find the. I'm gonna go ahead and stall while I find the link. But the abridged version over here, I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the description box over here at vitalvegas.com. But apparently, the abridged version is Cirque du Soleil is looking like it might be going bankrupt. So, what do you guys think of all this over here?
I've seen two shows. I wish if they're gonna go bankrupt, I wish that I was able to see Zumanity before it goes, but I can't. I think that maybe they have too many shows, and maybe they're spreading themselves out too thin.
All right, so we have that
Awesome.
there.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've never seen a Cirque show. I've never seen a show. Period.
You've never seen
But
a show
actually,
in Vegas?
nah, man, just never had the desire to. But what's crazy
You've
was I
been
was
going for
planning to
like 10
actually
years,
do it.
man.
I know, man. be all over the place doing other things. But I was actually planning to go see a show this past trip, actually, before all of this stuff started.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll wait till, everything passes over. And then when I heard about this, I was like, oh boy.
Mm.
So it's unfortunate, man. Hate to hear that this happened, especially in these times. But man, hope they can pull through somehow.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Like, the article seems pretty intense here. So here's what Vital Vegas is reporting. So Las Vegas fixture Cirque du Soleil is in a world of financial hurt and closure of all of its shows due to the such and such. 44 productions in all, like 44 productions, what? Is likely to lead the company for filing for bankruptcy protection. So apparently their credit service has recently downgraded them to a CA, a CA, which is like I guess like the equivalent of like a 500 credit score or whatever. Meaning that they're like way in default on their loans or soon will be, and they have limited prospects for tenable capital. They're out of money. That's the bottom line. They're out of money over here. They're $900 million in debt, according to the rumors. And when all this stuff started, they actually laid off 4,600 people. At least according to Vital Vegas, they're saying they laid off 4,679 people, which is approximately 95% of their entire staff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
the
you have to think
5% was managers and owners and the top level people.
Yeah.
Probably, because you have to think of, like, it's not only the performers, but it's the people that do the makeup, people that do the costumes, people that help run all of it too. So, but I think maybe if they have that much production, there's too many of them. Maybe they need to just scale it back some, so that it's not spread out so much.
Okay, so you're thinking it's too many shows. I mean, do you think they're too expensive to do, or do you think they're not getting enough kickback for them? Are they not charging enough? Or
I don't know. I mean, because you can see that, like, you can go to shows from the My Vegas app. All the ones I've gone to, I've gone on there. I haven't paid for a show, so maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point right there. Yeah, T man. You were thinking that. Well, you said you've never been to a Cirque show, so why not? I mean, they're like a staple of modern Vegas right now, but you said you haven't really been that into them. Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I've heard good things. To be 100% honest, I don't have, I guess, the answer that you'd be looking for as to why, other than I just haven't had a full interest to see one. I gamble, I do videos, party. I just never made the time. But I guess, I don't know. I've never thought to dedicate some time to see a show, even though I talk to people and I hear about them all the time. I just never have. But it was something, like I said, it was something I was planning to do. That's why I'm hoping that they really don't shut everything down, at least be able to try to catch one before things go away. But just, I'm occupied doing other things. I've just never put Vegas on hold to go watch a show.
Fair enough. All right. So that 2-hour window over there out of your 40 hours in a Vegas day, 'cause, let's be honest, you don't sleep the first day, right?
Yeah, I'll probably sleep maybe an hour or two.
Your first day in Vegas, it's a 40-hour day. There's no shame in that. I mean, shoot, I think I had a 48-hour day my first day in Vegas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a bad idea, but I did it. It was fun because I was 22, and that's what you do.
I think I was the same too. But I didn't start going to Cirque shows and different shows until like maybe 5 years ago. Before I was the same. I would go to gamble and to go to clubs and go dancing and party. And the people that I went with that's what they wanted to do. They didn't really want to go to shows, or they didn't want to spend the extra money to go to shows. And then I kind of started changing the way I did things. And now I totally do different things. That's why I really liked the group that I was with. You guys, the last trip, because everyone was kind of on the same page.
Yeah, we're just looking to hang
what they
out.
wanted to do. Yeah. And like gamble and do that, and nobody was like, oh, let's go to a club. Like I mean, I'll go to clubs. I have hookups to get into clubs, and but I mostly just go to get the free drinks or be there an hour.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends is a promoter at Marquee, so I just mostly go to see her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it changed. My perspective of Vegas has changed a lot. I mean, I do like to go dancing, but I hate that every club is table service and there is no dance floor anymore. I hate it. I hate it. It's like, why do I want to go to a club and just stand there? That's ridiculous. No.
You know,
So
I was thinking about that too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just everything for me has kind of shifted a little bit too. But I was also kind of thinking too, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can wave the boss lady down too. But honey, have we ever gone to a Cirque show when it's just been you and me there?
No.
That's a no.
That's a no.
You want to tell America that that's a hard no, or whoever else is on here?
Yeah, it's a neutral no.
It's a neutral.
It's just
no.
a matter of fact no.
Okay, very matter of fact. Yeah, I think we've been 2 or 3 times, and yeah, we've even gone for weekends and everything. So everything's open. But yeah, we've never been to a show while we've been out there together. I've been with friends, and I've gone to review them by myself. I even have the reviews up on the channel. But I guess I've never actually taken my spouse to a Cirque show, and that surprises me because I figured that'd be a thing she'd like. So maybe it's just like, maybe the public isn't interested in them anymore. But, the really interesting thing is they were really in trouble before this whole, this whole Vegas lockdown thing happened too.
well, I think maybe they're using the lockdown as an excuse to do this, so they look like, oh, we're losing money, and they don't have to admit, or maybe they can think they can get more of a bailout because they can say it's because of the situation that's happening.
Very possible. Yep.
I think I have a theory too. It's a conspiracy theory. I'm not sure if I can say that on YouTube.
Oh my God.
But I have a conspiracy theory. So I'm not sure if anybody in the live chat or if any of our guests today have seen the show Run. I personally have not seen it. But it looks like they poured a lot of money into the marketing for it, into the production for it and all that. And it was just a huge money sink. It's the equivalent of a live-action box office bomb. And here's the abridged version of it. Apparently it's supposed to be like a thriller movie, but it's supposed to be on the stage and all that. And when you guys think Cirque du Soleil, let me ask you this. Do you think like acrobatics? Do you guys think like kind of sexy, burlesque sort of stuff? Or do you think guys on motorcycles hitting each other with crowbars?
No, see, I think of like Caw and Acrobat and Water.
Yeah,
and,
that sort of thing.
And Zumanity, a little raunchy.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think about like a guy on a motorcycle rolling up to another guy and just whacking him in the head, right?
No.
You wouldn't expect to see like a murder on stage for a Cirque du Soleil show, right?
At
It just
a
doesn't
show,
sound
nah.
right. It sounds creepy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
and it
wouldn't
doesn't
wanna
sound
see
like a complete entertainment either,
I-
unless that's what you're into,
It sounds like an episode of Law and Order.
Exactly.
Right?
It just sounds the reviews have just been awful. Like, Anastas over here, our boy Anastas, who I think also just had a birthday too. Is that right? I can't remember if he did or not. Anastas, did you have a birthday, man? Let me know in the comment section here. I feel like you did, bro. I can't remember. It's been a long day. I was working earlier today. But anyway, though. The reviews came in, and apparently they were just awful. It didn't feel like a Cirque show. And I even had, last time we were there in, it's up on Wednesday. Okay, so happy early birthday to our boy Anastas. And also, if you guys haven't checked out his channel too, Anastas617, go ahead and go check him out. I'll add you to the description box too, so that people can go check you out. He's part of our big Vegas family, so let's make sure we hit our boy up too. But had one of my friends and one of our mutual viewers over here. She went to go check it out while we were all in Vegas over Christmas. We all went to have drinks. I think it was Justin and Laura, and then it was me and the boss lady, and then their spouses respectively too. And they had gone to go see it. Then Laura messaged me the next day. She's like, "Oh, it was awful." Yes, wow. I mean, like, nobody likes that show, and it's just unpleasant. It's so weird, and I think because they put so much money into it, apparently it was like a $30 million production, and when you're $900 million in debt, $30 million is a lot of money that you probably don't have, so that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, and really kind of hurt the rest of them, because they were promoting them so hard, and all the other shows were kind of on the back burner. And maybe just getting comped and all that. Actually, I think I'm in the same boat as Houston. Because you said you've never paid for a Cirque show, right?
No, I've seen Caw.
Yep, I saw that one.
I saw, what else did I see?
What was it?
I saw O because I got comped for it.
Yep, you got a comp for that. Yeah, I got comped for that one. Yeah, I got comped for Zumanity, which is really awkward to watch by yourself. Not a bad show, but it's definitely meant for meant for couples or for groups. It is not a
Yeah,
not
we
a solo guy show.
I was going to, my kids were like, oh, we should go see this Zumanity thing. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to see with you.
Not with your kids,
because
no.
that's weird. That's weird. Like, I went with my brother and my older son to see X Burlesque, and my other friend was with me, and I sat on one side and made them sit on the other side, because I'm like, I don't need the comic to like point us out or something. I will cry. I mean, I have no problem with seeing, women and their breastises right in front of me.
It's okay to watch
That's
some
fine.
digital TV.
That's fine. I don't care about that, but I don't want to be like, my brother's over there. Go over there.
Right.
Go away. Yeah. So, but I've gone to other stuff, but I don't know. I think maybe it's the whole Vegas mentality is. I mean, I like the idea of the Cirque shows. I could have went to see the Michael Jackson thing, but I really don't care for Michael Jackson that much.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know. Gasp. I don't. There's a
Respect,
whole story for that, but I'm not going to say that.
I gotta hear this. That's going to be the post show. You have to tell the Michael Jackson story.
I will. But I don't know. I prefer to go see like burlesque shows and things like that instead of more of the theatrical stuff.
Yeah, I think that was part of the issue there. But yeah, that's my crazy fan theory there. So that makes sense. Yeah, nobody wanted to go see that thing, and the people that did were like, this was awful, and they just killed themselves on it. And now that they can't recover from it, I think that could lead to some pretty serious problems. So in the live chat, I think everyone's like, oh, bankruptcy, that doesn't mean that they're gone, but they're definitely in trouble. And $900 million in debt for a company like that, I'm not sure if you can just straight up recover from that. Bankruptcy protection or not. I mean, you have to have liquid assets for a production company, right? You have to pay your actors. You have to, pay for the venues. You have to pay for your effects. Like, you got to buy the costumes. That's expensive. How can you run a production company without liquid assets? I don't think so.
Yeah, but see, now they can use this thing that's happening. They can furlong everyone probably, and maybe, and if they file during this time, then they won't maybe go out of business or something. I don't know how that all works.
I mean, I wonder though, what does Vegas look like without Cirque? I mean, they're pretty much like the big, they are like the Vegas show now. It used to be you go to Vegas, you'd gamble, you go out to a nice dinner, steakhouse or whatever, of course, because everything has a steakhouse. Then you'd see a show, and then you'd go out and gamble some more. That was pretty much the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's classic Vegas.
Yes.
So,
but if you don't have that, I mean, maybe it would open up the opportunity for other companies to come in, or maybe they can downsize themselves so they only have like 4 or 5, not 44, you said?
Right.
That's a lot of shows. I didn't even know there were that many Cirque shows.
Yeah, so let's ask the live chat here. We still got a few minutes. Live chat, what do you guys think? Do you want Cirque to stay big, or do you want them to slim down, or would you care if they just went away? Let's go ahead and get a vote going on that. Who cares if Cirque goes away? Who wants them to stay big, and who wants them to just kind of slim down a little bit? I personally wouldn't be terribly offended if Cirque did slim down a bit, because I don't think I've ever seen a Cirque show that I've given more. Well, actually, here, is Blue Man considered a Cirque show? I don't think.
No, I think they're independent.
All right, they're independent. If that's the case, then if that's the case, then I don't think I've ever reviewed a Cirque show that I've given more than a 3 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I think all of them are pretty painfully average. I've seen O, I've seen Zumanity, I've seen Ka, and I think they all have a lot of potential there, honestly. Ka actually kind of disappointed me. It was still a good show, but I felt like they could have done so much more with it if they had focused more on the narrative. It's like they introduced one and then they stopped doing stuff with it. And it might be my American sensibilities compared to having proper French sensibilities, since it's a French company. So I feel like I might understand it better if I had a better understanding of French culture in general. So I'd probably understand better, but I just couldn't get into it. Especially, which I thought was especially interesting since that was it was a French show based largely on Asian culture. And as a martial artist and somewhat of a Japanese nerd, I'm super into Asian culture there too. So I have a better understanding of that, especially since I speak Japanese. That you learn the language, you get a little more into the culture. You have to understand the culture to master a language. I'm not saying I'm a master, but I've gotten a lot more into that. So I felt like they had a lot more potential to really kind of dive into the culture, but they didn't, and it was very, very bizarre.
Well, I think that Ka is definitely something you shouldn't see sober. I think you need.
I made that mistake. I think that was because I went for the review, so I had to see it sober. That was not a good idea.
I think it was interesting and it was really cool, but it was kind of bizarre at the same time. And I definitely did not have enough to drink when I saw it. So, but it was free, so I was okay with it.
Right. Nice. Let's see what live chat's saying over here. Let me see. Javier, he doesn't give a damn if they show up or not. So that's a don't care. Sasha is thinking they should slim down, so trim down the shows a bit. EA Leathers, if Cirque goes away, another company will step up and hire the talent. Hopefully. We're hoping for that. I know entertainment's one of the first things that goes away in an economic crisis. We saw that during the credit crunch. So hopefully that'll work. Anthony also doesn't care about Cirque. Vimo would like Cirque to go big. Karen saying slim back down. A lot of traveling shows. And Ty just does not care as well. Triple Rebel. They could go on the... I don't think I can say that word. They can go on a diet. They can slim down. We'll just call it that. I can't say that word on stream. All right, if they go away, new shows will come up. Makes no difference to Bebe at all. Also a great Vegas vlogger. You guys should go check out Vegas Bebe if you haven't checked her out already. Makes no difference to me at all. I'd rather go see different production there. Good deal. John's thinking Levrev was better. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff over here. Yeah, okay. It's looking like it'd be good to trim it down a bit just to keep things clean. So, I don't know.
I agree with Vegas Paradise. Absinthe is one of the best shows they've seen. It was so funny. Yeah. I loved it, and I loved how small and intimate it was too. It was great. But I want to see, I like shows like that, and I like the really raunchy, things you might be thinking but you won't say kind of shows. Yeah, right. I enjoy that.
There you go. And I think Anastasis is right too. Cirque du Soleil isn't enough to draw a crowd anymore. It's kind of I kind of feel like that way about Bellagio too. It's cool, but I don't think the name is enough for it to coast on anymore.
Yeah, I think that also a lot of the kids that are new to Vegas and things like that, they might not really get it and not draw the crowd that they need for it.
Yeah.
I think they're too specialized, maybe.
Maybe, or maybe they think it's tailored to an older crowd.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. TVP confirms.
A lot of my younger clients say that. Yeah, a lot of clients that I talk to who are early, mid, late 20s all say that they feel like the shows are for the older crowd.
There you go. So you're shooting to be maybe what qualifies as older in Vegas anyway? I see everybody there from 21 up to 75 sometimes. So
I was about to say, people say that all the time about feeling too old in Vegas. That's a great question because I've seen people, like you said, in their 60s and 70s partying in Vegas.
Yep.
So,
well, I think that age has really changed a lot. When you going off of you didn't believe that I was 50, I still go to clubs and I have no problem not getting looked at it oh, look at this old lady in in here. But and I go out with my kids and and they think I'm either their sister or my older son's girlfriend or something like that. But I think that
never sugar mama though. Never that's their real mom. She could be my sugar mama.
No, I am instructed to always announce I am the mom. I am the mom. I'm the mom.
You're not supposed to block. Mom doesn't block.
I'm a very good wingman. So
nice. I need you to get my mom on the line. No, I'm kidding. I'm taking, guys. I'm safe.
But I think that age has changed, but because people look at going to a show as like an older thing, and kids that are coming in, they're like maybe in their 20s, early 30s, are thinking, I'm going to a club.
Yeah.
That's why like the clubs are so crowded and packed. And I don't even get that, because like sometimes people are paying like guys are paying $40-50 to walk into a club.
Yeah.
Then you're paying $20 for a drink. And no, 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 no. I don't agree with that, and they're making a lot of money. So it'll be really interesting after this whole situation's over how things are, because
Yeah.
it's all different. I think if they had shows that are maybe a little bit more tailored to a little bit younger audience, they might be able to attract more people.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Yeah. TVP, what do you think, man? You got any final thoughts on this one too?
I'm with her. I can't wait to see how things change when things open back up. I feel like this crash, I think it's gonna open a lot of people's eyes for a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm the same. I'm waiting to see what happens. I think there's gonna be a lot of change coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the point. Maybe they trim down the shows a little bit and then rebuild the areas to be kind of like maybe like a lounge, like somewhere between a club and a lounge where they're still playing the good music, but there's just somewhere to sit down. And you know what? They're going to have a lot of space in there. So they can make a club, sort of lounge there, where you can still sit down and you can still hear people. Because I guess I'm to the age where I want that.
Yeah, I agree, because that's why I liked before it was Hakkasan, when it was Studio 54. That place had the biggest dance floor, and it was fantastic, and I loved it.
Nice.
Oh, I loved it. We had a table. We were next to Mike Tyson on my son's 21st birthday,
Nice.
and my brother was drunk and saying, "Mike Tyson, my call. Mike Tyson, my call." I'm like, "Mike Tyson is gonna kill you," and they were like hanging out with Mike Tyson. It was just so weird, but and even Omni used to have a dance floor, and when
they were pure, right?
Yeah, when it was pure, and they had the Pussycat Dolls right there.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. I love that place. What was the club that was at Treasure? No, at Mirage before One Oak.
Oh, I don't remember where that one used to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
They used to have a tattoo studio across the way from it, and they had open bar for females. So you could go in there and drink for free, then go into the club. And they let you come in and out. It was fantastic. And they had a dance floor. And all these clubs keep like new places and less and less a dance floor. You can barely walk through the places. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel that it's kind of dangerous because there's too many people.
Yeah.
And two, why would you want to pay that much money and listen to music and you can't even dance?
I can see that too.
The only place I think you can actually maybe dance is Dre's.
It's my favorite club in Vegas.
Oh, didn't Dre's close down too? Or what was the other one?
No, Dre's still open.
Dre's is there. And isn't the Dre's After Hours is still there too? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have something for our next trip.
Yeah. Yeah, Dre's is great.
That's my spot.
Nice. All right, good deal. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set at this point. Any other final thoughts on here? Are you guys all ready to wrap this bad boy up?
No, it's all good, man.
Nice. Well, I once again wanted to go ahead and thank Sin and TVP for dropping by. Again, if you guys haven't subscribed to their channels, I got them in the description box below. Don't forget to go show them some love. Also, our boy Nasus, too, little early birthday present. Let's go ahead and kick him up. I think he's pretty close to 1,000, and I know we got like 4,000. We got 4,000 players on this channel. I know TVP, you got like almost 5,000 right now, so I think we can get our boy up to 1,000 too. And let's go ahead and push Sin up too, because I think she just got her 100.
No, I have 189.
Oh, so she's gonna get her 200.
Let's get her to 200.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get her to 200. You got the custom channel URL too, so that's good. Yeah, let's push for that 200, guys. Because you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I don't care who's on the show. We got the best Vegas community over here. Ace of Vegas, Spinners and Sharks in here, loving it. So thanks again for coming out, and special thanks to my good friends, Sin and TVP, for coming out tonight too. And yeah, we just wanted to go ahead and sign out too. So until next time, my friends, Ace of Vegas and Sin and TVP are all signing off, wishing y'all strong hands, and of course, happy spinning. Good night, everybody.